What's going on, family? Thank you for tuning in to today's live. You're locked in with the Coach Smook Network, and I'm your host, Coach Smook, your favorite Alabama insider and sports media personality. Before we get rolling, do me a quick favor. Tap that like button, share the stream out, and if you're new here, make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you never miss any of the action. Now listen, if you really rock with what we're building here, I invite you to take the opportunity to support the channel by becoming a member of the AAA family. Our mantra is authenticity above all. Everything we do, our content and our community, is built on creating and enjoying quality, authentic conversations, real insight, and real information surrounding sports entertainment. Your membership directly assists in the growth of the Coach Smook Network, and every hard-earned dollar you contribute is not only appreciated, it's paid forward. We proudly make monthly contributions to various community health and awareness organizations because impact matters. If you want to get even more involved with the community, be sure to join our Discord. You can type the command right now in the live chat or head over to our main YouTube page and click the Linktree link in the description. And for those who want to support the network directly, you can donate through multiple options: Venmo, PayPal, or Cash App. Every bit of support helps us continue to grow and elevate this platform. Thank you all for the love and the support and the energy you bring every single time. Now buckle up because it's time to get into the show. Somebody type it in the chat. Say, put me in the game, Coach Smook. Let's get it.
Remember, when you see me in the streets, holler at me. Say, put me in the game, Coach Smook.
Put me in the game, Coach Smook. Put me in the game, Coach Smook.
Like, share, subscribe. You know we keep it live.
Put me in the game, Coach Smook. 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 Put me in the game, Coach Smook.
Like, share, subscribe. You know we keep it live.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Coach Smook, here on the Coach Smook Network. Give it up for yourselves. Welcome in TikTok, Twitter, Kick, Twitch, Facebook, and the YouTube family, AAA family. What's going on tonight? Welcome into the Coach Smook Network. Glad to have you all in on this another episode of Coach Smook Live, man. We chatting with Coach Smook tonight. going to have the phone lines open up a little later in the show. For all my members, if you got to make it to the members only live, you got some insight coming into tonight's show that I could not share on tonight's show. So the way that we will the way we approach the topics tonight will be generalized so that we can have some fan engagement for those that have not picked up those wristbands and gotten the insight that you have gotten. If you have not become a member of the AAA family, you're missing out. Today was an experience. As you can see, I am tired. Tonight's show, we are going to be on a strict time schedule. We're trying to make sure we stay within our time confinements. If you're catching this post live, fast forward to the 15-minute mark, and you will be at the point where we will be having our topics of discussion tonight. Speaking of topics of discussion tonight, y'all, we got a good lineup tonight. I think tonight is going to be a good conversation. One, because we have a few more things to go off of. We got some official footage from practice. Shout out to the University of Alabama Athletic Department for providing us some official media, and they also provided us the official interview with Xavier Brown. It was good to see him today live and in action, man. He did not look like he was battling any injuries. Anything that was keeping him out of that first week of practice was probably precautionary. Like I said, I think this is probably the healthiest we've been coming into the offseason or coming into spring camp, minus a few guys, maybe one or two guys on the O-line, and then two guys, primary guys on the D-line that were impactful last year in London Simmons, and also, what was the younger man's name? I forget the other guy that's injured on the defensive line right now, limited. Jeremiah Beeman. He wasn't as impactful, but him being out created an opportunity for London Simmons, and we all know what the expectations are for Jeremiah Beeman. I think it's a reason why this staff has kept him around without having any real game-like film to evaluate and judge him off of, being that he was one of the last of the few of the Saban recruits, recruits that came onto the roster while Coach Saban was still around. Him, Edric Hill, those are some guys that have been around for a while and that continue to be mainstays as far as the growth and the development of this defensive scheme under Coach Kane Womack and the defense. So we'll be getting into that conversation, but the defensive back room, I told y'all coming into this season, coming into the spring camp, that I was excited about this room. Maybe not necessarily 4 or 5 deep like we used to see in the Saban era, but when I say 2 deep rotations at each spot, we're going to talk about today also some reports and some things that we got to witness, but also some things coming in afterwards where you got some staff members that we were able to talk to a few of our sources there and get some more insight. So we're going to break it down here on tonight's show. Then we're going to open the phone lines up for about 25, 30 minutes, give everybody a chance to call in and get their thoughts on some of the things that we're reporting on, and also to ask some questions, create some conversation about things that you all want to know based off what we've seen, what we know, what's being reported, what's real, what's factual. I've already been getting the message board. See, this is what I don't like about Twitter. So Twitter, I see the viewers are popping up on Twitter. I'm going to come for y'all here real quick before we get into the show. Stop when these weirdos be calling themselves this and me and calling me out, calling me a fake insider. And then when you see me on campus or see me walking around that locker room or the indoor facility randomly, because some of y'all do have access or be around the facility. I do know that 2 of y'all are custodians at the University of Alabama. Shout out to y'all for, but custodians don't have no access to that field. I promise you. I've seen it. I've seen basketball practices and everything. I've been at basketball practice, both male and women's team. And I've never seen custodians on the court during practice. So I know a few of you all have family members that are custodians. And you know, some of y'all, if y'all don't hear from them, y'all feel like, take what you want. But I'm telling you, the Coach Smook Network, we have no reason to lie about what we do. This is an industry where I feel like fan information has been so polluted that personalities like myself try to drown us out because we don't like to chase mainstream media headlines. So because of that, that's why we continue to push and blaze the trail that we're blazing. And I thank God for picking us at this time and moment. But we're here and we're going to talk about it tonight. So we're back at it again. Yes, we back again. Appreciate you for tapping in, big dog, my guy. Let's do a roll call. Let's do a roll call here on the Coach Smook Network with the AAA family. I appreciate y'all for tapping in. Let's do it. I got TikTok tapping in tonight. I got YouTube tapping in. I got Twitter tapping in. Let's go, man. Amanda, who got the ones and twos for the comments? Amanda, that's on you. All right, bet. Let's get it. Shout out to my brother Zach for tapping in tonight with the one coming in, tapping in, AAA family. Mike Jones, he said, what's going on, Smook? I got something for you. You ask the questions. I see you ain't got no wristband, Mike Jones, so you ain't get to see the members only. So you don't know what's going on. I'm going to put you in the game. I'm going to put you in the game too, Tim. I'm going to put you in the game too. Where your wristband at, man? If you had your wristband, you would have been there at 3 o'clock when we put all this information out. Because now it seems like everybody beating us to the punch again, right? Seems like everybody beating us to the punch or whatever. If you're a member, you know what everybody doing, what everybody's saying. They probably saying the same thing we said at 3 o'clock. So we actually could have went live at 1, but we were in an Uber and we definitely had to make some moves. So Big Teddy, what's good, man? Good to see you. Roll Tide over there on Kick. Appreciate you for tapping in on Kick, man. Make sure you come in over on the YouTube side. We're trying to chase our goal to get 5K subscribers by April 11th. We need y'all helps on all platforms to get our 5K subscribers on YouTube. As you all know, YouTube is our primary platform, and it also plays a huge role in us getting access to certain events, games, media credentials, all of that stuff. The more subscriber base that we have, the more backing we have when we submit these formal requests for credentials. So continue to support by just becoming a subscriber to the channel. I know we got a lot of haters that say they don't watch our stuff, but our viewership says otherwise. Go ahead and subscribe. It's okay that we don't agree or my idea of what Alabama football looks like or whatever. We can have difference of opinion, but if you truly enjoy it enough to where you got to come back and you go in my comments and you write essays, right? You literally write essays in my comments. You'll sit here and watch a whole live, and to avoid from getting into any type of like debate on live or to get exposed, you wait until I go. You wait until I end the live, and literally a minute after I end the live, I see comments flowing. You might as well go ahead and subscribe and become a member. You get what I'm saying? So just make it make sense for me. Shout out to my brother Kelsey, man. First place barman in Montgomery, Alabama. Y'all, we got a new promo we're working on. I'm gonna record that tonight and actually have some updated intros and everything ready for us for the show. We will be live again. I got to check the schedule. I don't think we're live tomorrow. We'll have some content ready for y'all tomorrow, but we'll be live again later on this week. But that's the shout outs for today, man, in the YouTube live chat. Appreciate y'all. Make sure everybody, if y'all pulling up, man, pull up on the YouTube side. We definitely want to see y'all. Everybody on that TikTok side. I love the TikTok interaction. I love the energy we get on TikTok. Appreciate y'all for the energy over there. Pull up on the YouTube side, man. I really think both sides of the ball will blow people's minds, the fans and the doubters. Antoine, my boy Antoine Weston comes in on TikTok. Antoine, I would love to put your comment up on the screen because a lot of people I think are really doubting Kalen DeBoer. And speaking of doubters, we have one amongst us, and it's my brother Kelsey Shepard. I'm gonna call him out. I told Brian, and I said I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna get him because it's ridiculous some of the stuff that and I don't think he's the only one that believe it, but it's ridiculous what some of these fans' expectations are. Following Coach Saban's tenure, 17 years, first of all, that's very rare. You got very few mainstays or long stays, tenure coaches at universities, but to expect the coach to come in 2 years to be doing the same thing that Coach Saban took 3 or 4 years to really establish and solidify why he was here at the University of Alabama is crazy. So we're going to get y'all out of that Stone Age mind of thinking as you continue to support the Coach Smook Network. For all of our Fairweather fans and our Stone Age thinkers, we're going to get y'all caught up. I just stick around and we'll have y'all getting on with the good foot. But we're here at the 13.5-minute mark. I appreciate y'all for pulling up once again, y'all. Continue to like, share, subscribe. What's going to happen is the week going into A-Day, we're probably going to move all of our content primarily to YouTube, right? Just so we can drive those analytics up. We really want to get our YouTube channel back in the algorithm. So I really want y'all to pull up on YouTube and support. I see y'all on TikTok. Pull up on YouTube. We got about 1 minute before we need to start the show. I won't be able to watch Friday's game because I'll be on a cruise ship. What you mean Friday's game? Oh, you talking about for the men's basketball? Hey, I'll be doing a live watch party, so you probably be able to react with me. I'll talk you through it as best as I can. But I'm definitely no, actually I won't be. I'll be at a conference. I won't be watching it myself, so I'll be depending on my AAA family to keep me locked in. So yeah, Keith Simpson says, "How is Xavier Griffin on TikTok?" Pull up on YouTube and I'll give you the answer to that as we get ready to get into the show. Somebody typing in the chat, man. Y'all been listening to me talk for these first 15 minutes. Y'all should be good and settled in. Go get your cups. Go get everything you need because right after these messages, we're going to come in with our segment here on the Coach Smook Network. And then after that, we'll get into the college segment, talking about Alabama spring practice. What are we hearing, what we know, what we saw, and how we look at it going forward. This is how you become a member of the AAA family, so you don't have to wait till 5:30, 6:38 p.m. Central Standard Time, 7:30 p.m. Eastern to get the information that a lot of these AAA members already have. Check this out. This is how you become a member of the AAA family. Check it out. Glad you chose to stop by the channel today. Just wanted to give you an opportunity to really become a part of this community here at the Coach Smook Network. We like to call ourselves the AAA family. The AAA stands for authenticity above all. We just want to give you an opportunity to become a part of this community because we're growing and we're doing something special here as a fan base, not just for Alabama, but the fan community as a whole. We're creating an environment where it's safe to be yourself, be authentic, and meet people who share the same passion you share, whether it's for the same team or not. You can do this by becoming a member of the AAA family. You simply start by just clicking the link provided to you by one of the moderators in the chat, or it'll be pinned to the top of the chat. Click that link, it'll bring you to my homepage. When you get to my homepage, make sure you hit the notification button and turn on all notifications. Understand that there are multiple ways to support the channel, and each level has its perks.
I would say,
you can go through and read each perk as we continue to grow.
Yeah, I would say,
new perks will be added to each level.
Our third
One
year
thing
really
we would
like
like to
being
highlight
around
that
coaching
all
staff and
AAA
stuff
members
like
are
that.
greatly appreciated.
It's a lot more
It does
energy.
not
It's a
go
lot more
unnoticed
like
that you have taken
detail
time
and scheme and stuff like that.
hard-earned money to support this
good.
channel. Once you join, YouTube is going to ask for some payment information, and make sure you monitor your subscription dates. Also, if you really want to get interactive with the community and find out what's going on, think about joining our Discord family. This is where you can get into all the fan talk of the community, and also there are networking opportunities. Please be mindful that there are rules and that we expect everyone to treat everyone with respect.
Really, step forward.
Also, if you're looking to partner with Coach Smook Network or sponsor, please hit us up at coachsmooknetwork@gmail.com, and our staff will get back to you in a timely manner.
I see a lot of
I'm your boy,
things
Coach
for everybody.
Smook of the Coach Smook Network, and I thank you for supporting this channel.
My roommates in the dorm is Jira and Jordan, so those guys, they work hard, they leave early, and being around them, they move right.
What's the biggest piece of advice,
Yeah, I would say, our third year really like being around coaching staff and stuff like that. It's a lot more energy, it's a lot more like detail and scheme and stuff like that. So it's been good.
Talked with Dijon last week about kind of the size in the room with the addition of Carmelo and things like that.
Right.
What have you seen from him from the other practice?
Carmelo?
Yeah.
Sure, Carmelo's a dog. He uses his size to his advantage. He moves around really well, and I can't wait to just see how everybody keep progressing.
Which one of your teammates has surprised you with the progress they've made in the offseason?
I think Dijon Lee really stepped forward, and I'm seeing his game really develop, and he's starting to produce a lot more, I would say.
What do you notice from the incoming freshmen?
They're all locked in. I see a lot of good things from everybody.
Any one of them stand out? Any one of them surprise you anyway?
My roommates in the dorm is Jira and Jordan, so those guys, they work hard, they leave early. Being around them, they move right.
What's the biggest piece of advice, since your roommates with him, do you kind of spread on him of how to contribute early?
Right. I think just focus, dedication, maximizing the hours and time in your day. It's kind of just a little light I shed on them.
How does he move for a guy of his size? He's pretty built.
Who, Jira? Shit, he moves amazing to me. I mean, I think all the freshmen, they moving around good, put on size, speed. I think everybody's progressing at a good time.
Do you see the similarities in those two and yourself as a freshman?
Oh, for sure. Just mentally, we all on the same page. We go chill, talk, stuff like that. It's nice having guys like that in the building.
What is it like being in a room that has this much talent? I mean, this is a pretty stacked group. I mean, does it kind of push you guys to be even better with so much competition everywhere?
Absolutely, and just being able to learn from the guys around me, around each other, learning from each other. Hey, what'd you see on this rep? How'd you do this? Like, just tapping into the mental side of the game. I feel like is the biggest advantage, having a lot of guys in the room.
We always talk to you guys about like what are you passionate passing down to the younger players. Is there ever a moment where they do something where you learn off of them, maybe?
Oh, for sure. Sure. I'll ask Jordan about a rep he had, or just something like that. And if you're humble, you should be able to take in information from anybody.
You are the leaders now on the defense. What's the biggest place you want to see the defense take a step forward this year?
I would just say, communication. I feel like communication leads to production at the end of the day, takeaways, punches on the ball, stuff like that.
Strong second year at cornerback. What do you think Dijon is capable of in his second year of the program?
Sure, I think the sky's the limit for a guy like Dijon. He, like I said earlier, start everything. Like, I really feel like really starting to glue together, and I can't wait to play with him this year.
Is it weird to look around and kind of be the old guy in the cornerback room?
It's a little bit of a change, but I embrace it. I have fun with everybody. I try my best to just be present, and yeah.
What's your defensive back's perspective on the quarterback competition so far?
It's not really something we think about too much. Pay attention to formations, personnel, receivers, stuff like that. But we really just focus on getting the grasp, and we only in practice 5, so yeah.
I'm not trying to make it challenging on the two new guys, on the other two quarterbacks.
Oh, 100%. But in terms of their skill level, we just focus on us really.
What was your reaction whenever you heard that both Bray and Dion were coming back in the second year?
So I'm grateful, being able to play with guys like that. It's truly a blessing. It make my job, life a lot easier. Just having the guys who've been around the program for a long time, got their heads screwed on. I learned a lot from both of those guys. So I'm.
All right, y'all. So just a little insight on why I believe Xavier Brown was the feature interview. I always think, like y'all know me, I think with the 3 years that I've been doing coverage, Bama media, been in that little gray area. We did full-time media credentials, and last year we floated independently. But now this year, we're in our own lane. We're in our own lane, and things have kind of came to us. And so I told you all, the members, you all know, if you go to the members only, I told you all about some of the conversations we had. And I think that was a real reason why Xavier Brown was put out there. One, because of the status and how that media that was putting out, the mainstream media. Y'all remember I told y'all I didn't think there was anything serious. I remember him being out there from the first practice. I know they said he was limited, but in that first week of practices, you're just trying to see how guys move and how they understand things. You start to try to do some install things towards the last day before you go on that break. You've seen that system or that practice schedule implemented over the past 2 years. Kelsey Shepard's already in it. But yeah, so we looking at that, I think Xavier Brown was kind of trying to elude some things, right? With him becoming a junior. What's up, Jason? Good to see you in the chat, brother. Good to see my brother Hall of Fame, Jason. I don't know why we're getting feedback like that. But good to see you, Jason. I think there's something happening in the defensive back rotation. I told y'all how much depth was there, right? Early preseason workouts, fourth quarter workouts, whatever they would classify it as now officially. I'm not sure if they're even carrying that same fourth quarter workout name or whatever. But I will say this, man. You had some guys showing up that were making a name for themselves, creating some energy around their names last season as true freshmen, like Chuck McDonald, Abdul Sanders. You had sophomores in QB Reese, who's a redshirt sophomore now, or junior on the field now. Guys like that just continuing to do things in practice throughout the season. Luke Metz, Ivan Taylor, guys like that just kept doing the right things in practice, but there was no reason to force him out there because you had Bray Hubbard in front of him. You had Austin Green, Jefferson out there in that linebacker room. And then you know what the secondary looked like. Chuck McDonald could have been thrown out there, but you had mainstays in Xavier Brown. Dijon Lee got his opportunity because of his early presence in spring. But Chuck McDonald is really coming out and making a name for himself early in this spring camp. Not just when the pads came on, beforehand, and there was a lot of preseason workouts, the numbers he was putting up. But that now the baller that we knew him to be, I told you he was going to be the most underrated 4-star we've seen come through Alabama in a while. And I think it's starting to showcase itself. Look at the frame, 6'2", 195 plus right now. And I think, honestly, after seeing him today, I think he and Jair Edwards are probably pushing but I know for a fact Jair Edwards is 220. That young man, it looks like a linebacker. It's going to be hard to see him not, if he doesn't grow to that 6'3", 6'4" frame that I believe, it's going to be hard not to want to put him in that dime linebacker position that like what my buddy Clint Lamb was trying to talk about, having a hybrid linebacker, strong safety type skill set on the field and being able to align him in multiple spots pre-snap to give your defense confusion. Kind of like what LSU did with Perkins at the inside linebacker at the edge. You seen him moving him around, standing him up, putting his hand in dirt. You're going to get assets like that with Jair Edwards, but not just him. I'm telling you right now, he probably won't get a lot of opportunities in the season, but you're going to hear a lot about Zay Hall and how he's progressing and the type of plays that he's making in this spring camp. Ari Johnson, Howard, the defensive lineman. The defensive line room is probably the deepest when it comes to the talent available, the depth of talent available. But I'm telling you right now, across the board, we're in a good spot. Let's talk about the D-line dominance early in camp. I really want to highlight this because I think when we've seen these type of trends in spring camp, even all the way back to the Saban era, and I can't speak before, the Shula era or things like that, because we didn't necessarily have this type of coverage to practice spring coverage and things of that nature. Everything we started finding out was in fall camp. So now you think about the way that we've been privy to information and how things have trended. Some people come out and they make outrageous claims about quarterback play and all this other stuff. I'm gonna tell you what I actually saw today. So D-line is going to make it hard for us to really get a good gauge on the offensive, on the offense and how it's progressing because of how good and how much talent is there. I'm gonna pull up this roster and I'm gonna I jotted down some notes. First of all, I jotted down mental notes, not necessarily physical hand notes, but I jotted down some mental notes. And there was a few numbers that I remembered that just kept popping off today during a few snaps, during some drills, especially like the interior, the run drills, run game drills. So defensive lineman off rip, it's a reason why he transferred. It's a reason why he kept number one. Devin Tompkins is definitely a leader in that room. Also, not just with presence, but a vocal leader. And then if you ever see a big number 9 defensive lineman out on the field, that's the South Carolina transfer. I don't think he's necessarily penciled in as a for sure starter, but a veteran presence like that. Look at the type of explosiveness we have with the young guys that need to hone in some of those technical, mechanical skills and development. I look at guys like Desmond Zulu from South Carolina to have some early opportunities, be a good leader and have a presence in that room and get some early impactful playing time. A name that I mentioned earlier in our Members Only Live that played some big moments last year when Kelby Collins and James Smith were kind of being banged up. You didn't have Steve Bowler available. Edric Hill was playing a lot more interior side. Fager was thrown into the fire, London Simmons. But Fatua Henry was thrown into that bandit rotation behind LT Overton while he was kind of beat up. Shout out to everybody that's pulling up on TikTok. On the YouTube side too, man. I need everybody on all platforms to pull up on the YouTube side and drop a like, share the content from the YouTube side. If you're on the other platforms, we need reactions from YouTube. TikTok, continue to tap their screen. But like I was saying, Fatua Henry, number 14, you see him working in a lot of different spots this year coming into the spring. Last year, a lot of defensive line presence. Didn't know if they were going to have them on the interior. Didn't know if they wanted to place him at that bandit position to be a true defensive end asset, technique type guy, right? With his skill sets to be able to provide some quality pass rush off the edge and run containment. So Fatua Henry, I look for him to be a solid presence on that defensive line. But as far as our starters, AJ, can you flash that starting defensive group up? I'm telling you right now, and I haven't seen 20 on defense. I know people are asking about Ja Latham and why he returned. Young man just looking for opportunity and felt like his best opportunity was to finish where he started. Now, I don't think he's going to find himself in the heavy rotation unless you see some injuries up front. Same thing with Kendrick Jones from I want to say that's the Mississippi State transfer, 22. I know a lot of people want him to come in and because he's wearing LT over to his number to beat the LTO, but the depth of rotation at this D-line, I don't see a lot of mainstay 70% snap type guys on this defensive line rotation. I think 2 true freshmen are going to make a push based off their spring presence. Mari Johnson, Corey Howard. I think both of those guys are going to make a push to have some type of implementation. And you still got London Simmons and Jeremiah Beeman across that defensive front that are not fully participating in practice yet. And then let's not mention Terrence Green, the transfer. So the D-line room, the rotation there, and I still didn't say anything about Edric Hill, Steve Bola, or Asai Fago, who I know are mainstays on the interior rotation. Guys that provide, not just can plug up holes, but actually get to the quarterback, can actually create penetration and get to the running back and other ball carrier. Talking about some extensive skill sets in that defensive line room. Terrence Green is somebody that I think is going to pop off the screen early and be a huge presence. Rotation of him, Jeremiah Beeman, and London Simmons, I don't know how you're going to deal with it. I don't know how you're going to deal with it. And then to have Devin Tompkins possibly playing the defensive tackle off of those big nose guards, or even bumping him out to that bandit position. Like the way that the rotation was on the D-line this earlier today, this morning, I couldn't tell how the alignments was. And with the number changes, seeing a lot of single-digit numbers across the D-line is weird. First of all, let's say that. But secondly, just you look at the size and the frame of these guys, man, it's hard to tell some of these guys. Like, I thought Edric Hill was a big dude, right? And Edric Hill, I think, is 6'4". Let me pull up the roster. He's 6'3", 287, right? But Mari Johnson, number 20, what number is Mari? 28, 20, 26? Mari Johnson, 6'3", 286, a true freshman, right? They don't necessarily look the same in person, but you put a bunch of them big jokers in pads and the helmets, they look the same, man. Long arms, big frames, and then you look at movement. I have not seen a more athletic group since probably like just the look of this group. Looks about as good as Saban's last 2 linebacker D-line groups. Just by looks, getting off the bus looking good. But like I said, those names early are the ones that I think that are really going to ring with the D-line. Let's talk about the linebackers. We got about 10 more minutes. What time is it? Yeah, we got about 15 more minutes till the phone lines open up. Y'all make sure y'all stay tapped in. I want to definitely hear your thoughts about some of the prospects and the things that you're hearing. And even the message board watchers, y'all. I know you. Listen, I'm not saying I know everything, but message board content, I don't mind it. I love debunking a lot of message board content. I do. So please bring it. Everything you bring to the table, please. Message board energy, I'm with it. I promise you. What Fruit Salad said, I saw the practice video and thought 10 was a bandit player. Don't Jira Edwards look like a full-size second-year linebacker? I am not playing, chat. Like, that young man is serious. Like, didn't waste no time. But the thing is, I remember Jira Edwards, I want to say he was about 6 foot, 185, 190 as a sophomore at St. Francis. And then I've been watching him on overtime. And then when we finally connected through Instagram and now Twitter, seeing him kind of develop his body frame and develop at the University of Alabama with some of the nutrition and things, nutrition and physical therapy and recovery that's available for these players. Shadarian Morgan looks like a grown man out there too. I mean, he already had the size and the frame, and now you see that the specialties kicking in. Speaking of offense, we're going to talk about offense in a minute. Let's talk about the linebacker room. Now, I know everybody's excited about getting Caleb Woodson. I think he's going to be a quality asset, y'all. I really do. I just think more so on the state of like the same way that we saw Nakai Hill-Green be limited in his usage, and then when it was time for him to be called in extensive play, he was fresh enough to be able to process those things because he saw enough live reps in front of him. That's what I believe is going to happen for Caleb Woodson, because right now that inside linebacker room, I'm about 100,000% sure that your starters are going to be QB Reese and Abdul-Sanders Jr. I'm about 100% sure. If you think about how they were paired up last year during spring ball before AJ Sanders had to take a step back with a minor injury, right? Those two have been brought in as a tandem. You talk about the archetype of linebacker that you want for Kane Womack. Go look at the guy that he had at South Alabama leading the nation in tackles. These two players fit that mold, and they're not small guys like you had with him. I think he was like 5'10", about 205, that linebacker from South Alabama. But now you got a 6 foot, 230-pound QB Reese. I know the height may not be there, but that is a linebacker. That's what Saban would go and get. Them hammerhead, blockhead jokers that's ready to go and fill a gap. And that's what you're getting. QB Reese. And then Abdul Sanders Jr.'s, the Cali connection, the linebackers, the linebacker core this season, I think if injuries don't plague us, we won't be privy to the type of skill sets available. We won't be privy to the skills available in that room because of what the defense requires. You can't have a lot of rotation at the inside linebacker. Those are your signal callers. Those guys are helping, set up leverage. Sometimes, I don't know if y'all paid attention, but we complain about a lot of the leverage in Kane Womack's defensive play calling, especially on the boundary. Well, I started to watch a little film, and a lot of times it's dictated based off of how that weak side or that strong side linebacker is aligning himself with the space. And these DBs have to judge off that. Not everything can be communicated by hand signals. They got to be feels. So going to see how these guys adjust. But Caleb Woodson, I expect him to, as he continues to learn the calls, learn the language of the system, I expect him to be more so in that Nakai Hill-Green role from last year. But if he's not hitting, if he's not tackling and wrapping up something that I learned from this film, he's had a real issue in completing tackles. Open field tackle is not a forte as his. Getting to the ball, flying around, he got that. But open field tackling, he flies around. He's going to be on every tackle. But can he wrap up and secure tackles? Some that early in Womack's system we thought we were going to have a problem with inside linebackers. They lost. And even Campbell early on in that transition year. So I look at it, y'all. I think we're going to have a good competition. Luke Betts, Duke Johnson are some more young talents. Caden Jones, do not forget that name. Do not forget that name. I know we don't talk about him a lot. I think because of the injuries, it's kind of hard to really gauge what he's going to do. See him moving around at practice. He looks like he belongs out there. And then to switch the numbers, you expect him to be able to, to get some opportunities, right? You're looking at guys, they don't just give numbers out. They don't just give numbers out. No coaching staff does that. I promise you. Every time you get a number, it means something. Y'all athletes know what I'm talking about. Y'all know what I'm talking about. All right, and then the young guys, the true freshmen. I know we had a follower on TikTok, a supporter on TikTok asked about Xavier Griffin. I tell you what, the young man is in no rush. And the reason I say that is because of the talent that I have mentioned in front of him. He does not look a step slower, but you got to think about it. A lot of his reps are going against walk-ons, third team, 14. They haven't even started. I don't even think I wasn't there for it. Maybe the block for special teams. More than likely, that's where we're going to see a lot of these young guys. Him, Zay Hall. Now, somebody that is getting a lot of tutelage and coaching, and you see a lot of coaching moments happening with him, is Zay Hall. And I'm going to say from experience, call it what you want, call me a fake coach, whatever. I coached at the high school level for 4 years. I coached at the middle school level for 3 years. I was coached at the collegiate level for 2 seasons, right? And I noticed something. When coaches pulling certain guys aside, especially young guys, in spring, all the freshman guys that came in with me that my freshman year that were getting pulled aside after every rep, they the ones ended up being listed on that travel roster. If it wasn't for an injury going into week 1, I probably wouldn't have been on that mug. I wasn't developed. I was 6'2", 155 pounds. I was running a 4.67. Only thing I had was the 41-inch vert and some hands. That's all your boy had. So don't laugh at me, y'all. I'm for real. I ain't got a reason to lie. I wasn't blazing fast. I didn't get speed development until I got into college. I went off for a break. We had a bye week. Started learning some things that got me interested in speed training. And this is 2008, 2009. So we didn't have all of the different science and different methods. Everything was still, trying to fit a circle in a square hole, square peg in a circle, or however the saying goes. But I look at it now, man, and you got guys like Zay Hall that come in, literally put on the 20 pounds of lean mass. Your speed doesn't die off. You're out there, you look like you've been part of the team already been there for a year. Kind of like Jira Edwards, they look the part, and then they're fitting the part at the level that you're asking them. You're getting confident and want to give them opportunities. I wouldn't be surprised if Zay Hall creeps up and he's pushing guys like Luke Metz, Duke Johnson for that fourth or third linebacker in rotation, Caden Jones. I wouldn't be surprised. Like Xavier Griffin, I don't think there's a push for him to be that guy this year. I think there's some physical things they want to develop him in over the years, but don't let no injury bugs hit that room, because I think this staff will be more than confident with throwing him out here, and maybe not at the mic with getting him all the signal calls, but at the weak side linebacker, I think they'll be excited about having him there. The IQ is there. I think he might need 3 or 4 live games to really get the language down, the speed of the things, and then for him to get some live reps. Xavier Griffin's going to be one of the best linebackers to come to Alabama. Him and Zay Hall might be the better tandem. They'll be like the fully evolved tandem of what we're going to get from the trio of Luke Metz, Abdul Alexander Jr., and QB Reese. Duke Johnson, I'm curious to see if he stays at inside linebacker for the remainder of his collegiate career. I just truly see this young man. I don't know if it's because of the frame, not being able to get over that 245, 250 type mark like we saw with Noah Carter. But I think Duke Johnson at 6'3", 6'2", 6'3", 230 could be a crazy good pass rusher. He provides you a different, like a Micah Parsons type of energy. Not necessarily the size you want traditionally, but he provides that. How we on offensive line rotation and competition? That's not where we at. We definitely go into the defensive backs. The defensive back rotation. Let's get to the defensive backs. I want to talk defensive backs. All right, defensive back rotation. Y'all know I've been real hype about the defensive backs, man. DBs, I think Coach Mo has done his thing with the recruiting aspect of getting quality skill sets in this room, man. Starting with that first class, retaining guys like Xavier Brown in that first recruiting class. You had Fred Morgan in that first recruiting class. Jalen Mbakwe was in that first recruiting class that he retained, right? Ray Hubbard was the carryover guy that he retained. Then you go out in the portal, you get Keon Sabb. He was the guy that you retained. So you went and got some quality guys. Now you lose Jalen Mbakwe to Georgia Tech, well, to the offense first, then to Georgia Tech. But you bring in Dijon Lee, Chuck McDonald, right? You have Ivan Taylor in that room now, right? And those are guys that you got in last year that got a chance to develop. Dijon Lee was thrown into the fire and showed up. He developed in your scheme, your technique, how you're teaching, the concepts you're teaching. David Brown thrived. Both of them all SEC caliber guys. Keon Sabb, Ray Hubbard over top, Red Morgan coming back. I think he's going to be a mainstay at that rover position. Even with Nick Sherman coming in, I think he's going to be a guy to be looking out for. But I'm telling you right now, the guy to look for in the secondary that might make a breakthrough, no matter what's happening, no matter how many reps he gets. You know what I'm saying? Let's say we averaging 65 snaps, defensive snaps a game, right? I guarantee you Chuck McDonald is going to get 20 snaps. And of those 20 snaps, if he's thrown at out of those 20 snaps, if he's thrown at 6 times, I'm going with Chuck. I'm going with Dijon. I'm going with Xavier. Now, one person I have not got to see any real film on is Carmelo O'Neal. I cannot lie and say that I have. I continue to forget. But seeing him today, it looks like we have 2 small forwards playing corner. Carmelo, Dijon Lee, you're talking about 6'5", 6'4", 220, 215 corner. Then you got Xavier Brown coming out behind him. We know what he does in coverage. Then Chuck McDonald looking like a cop. This man, they don't miss the weight room. But then behind them, you got the young freshman in Zion Gibson, Jordan Edmonds. Jordan Edmonds might be another freshman that we have to watch out for. Let's pray that we don't have no injuries in the secondary, because these freshmen, Jira Edwards, Jordan Edmonds, Rael Kelly, surprising me.
I like him at safety. A lot of people thought he was gonna play the nickel corner. I like him at safety. But these DBs are making it hard for us to get a good look at our quarterbacks and these wide receivers. They really are, and that's a good thing in my opinion. In my opinion, when the DBs have the leg up early in camp, that means they understand what's being told to them. That means guys are able to stay in phase. I know the type of speed that we possess on the wide receiver in the wide receiver room, and even with the tight ends and some of the skill sets they provide, our defensive back room is physical. Jair Edwards is the talk of the spring because of his size, but it's not just a size thing with him. It's going to be hard to, and I think Big Homie asked it earlier, if we put more weight on him and put him in the linebacker, it's going to be hard because you're only getting Bray Hubbard and Keon for this season, right? You got Zay Mincy behind him, Drake Kirkpatrick, you got Ivan, you got Rael Kelly, you got assets in the 27 class that you got recruiting that you're looking to pick up. You probably going to keep you're probably going to try to keep Carmelo for another year. You're going to try to keep Sherman. I think he's going to be a good, strong safety asset. Him and Kirkpatrick. Ray Morgan's got to come back for another year. So you're looking at it and you want to continue to develop depth, right? And I think right now in this safety room, we're going to see more opportunities for Edwards than we expect. I think he's showing up. You look at the system he comes out of, the scheme he comes out of the high school, man. St. Francis don't do like basic high school stuff. They play at a high level. Let's go to the offensive side so we can talk about this O-line. Let's talk about this O-line real quick, and then we're going to open these phone lines up here in about 10 minutes. We're going to open these phone lines up in about 10 minutes. But before we get to the offensive side, I know y'all getting tired of hearing me talking, so we're going to take a quick break. And I want y'all to help us pay some bills by showing some love to our sponsors. But before that, think about becoming a member of the AAA family and supporting the Coach Smook Network. And then also, I know y'all excited about NFL draft. Man, we got Sports Info Solutions providing y'all with all of the inside data you need to try to compare and make your case. So if you're like my brother, Kelsey Shepard, who thinks Ty Simpson is going to be a day one starter and the best QB to come from Bama since whoever, by all means, go to Sports Info Solutions and check them out. And maybe their stats and their data can help you back up some of the things that you all are claiming. Well, check us out, man. Join the AAA family and get access to all this stuff.
Glad you chose to stop by the channel today. Just wanted to give you an opportunity to really become a part of this community here at the Coach Smook Network. We like to call ourselves the AAA family. The AAA stands for authenticity above all. We just want to give you an opportunity to become a part of this community because we're growing and we're doing something special here as a fan base, not just for Alabama, but the fan community as a whole. We're creating an environment where it's safe to be yourself, be authentic, and meet people who share the same passion you share, whether it's for the same team or not. You can do this by becoming a member of the AAA family. You simply start by just clicking the link provided to you by one of the moderators in the chat, or it'll be pinned to the top of the chat. Click that link. It'll bring you to my homepage. When you get to my homepage, make sure you hit the notification button and turn on all notifications. Understand that there are multiple ways to support the channel, and each level has its perks. You can go through and read each perk. As we continue to grow, new perks will be added to each level. One thing we would like to highlight that all AAA members are greatly appreciated. It does not go unnoticed that you have taken time and hard-earned money to support this channel. Once you join, YouTube is going to ask for some payment information, and make sure you monitor your subscription dates. Also, if you really want to get interactive with the community and find out what's going on, think about joining our Discord family. This is where you can get into all the fan talk of the community, and also there are networking opportunities. Please be mindful that there are rules and that we expect everyone to treat everyone with respect. Also, if you're looking to partner with Coach Smook Network or sponsor, please hit us up at coachsmooknetwork@gmail.com, and our staff will get back to you in a timely manner. I'm your boy, Coach Smook of the Coach Smook Network, and I thank you for supporting this channel. Hold on one second. If you're serious about sports, you need more than just box scores. You need real insight. That's why Sports Info Solutions is the official partner of the Coach Smook Network. Sports Info Solutions is my go-to source for in-depth stat analysis, giving you the tools to truly understand player production, tendencies, and performance on a whole new level. From NFL, MLB to NBA, Sports Info Solutions delivers advanced data that helps fans, coaches, and analysts see the game behind the game. This isn't just stats, it's context. Looking ahead to the next generation of stars? Check out nfldraft.sportsinfosolutions.com for elite draft analysis and detailed prospect breakdown. Make it your new go-to stat tracker. Visit sportsinfosolutions.com today. Now let's get back in the game.
Better go subscribe. You do roll with the tide. I'm down in the gun with Coach Smook. Through the game, roll tide, roll tide. Better go subscribe. TikTok.
Let's go. We're back. Let's talk about the offense, man. Appreciate y'all for tapping in. Don't forget, run those likes up in the chat. Run those likes up on the YouTube side. That's what helps us grow, y'all. That's what helps us grow. Every like, every comment, every share helps us continue to grow and share what we're doing here on the Coach Smook Network. So I appreciate you all for tapping in. TikTok also, man. Continue to tap that screen. We appreciate you. My sister Britt tapping in over there on the TikTok side, man. She's been active on a lot of different things for the network. A lot of our staff members, our team members have been. So I appreciate each and every one of y'all staying diligent. Y'all know spring and in-season time gets crazy. Our schedules get thrown off, especially because we got a solid community. We got a great community that's supporting us and sharing the content. So people will see the show and we'll end up having a conversation. The opportunities present itself. We got support coming in from each and every angle. Thank God for that. So give it up for yourselves, AAA family. Now, get into this conversation, man. Offensive line, quarterback, all that stuff that y'all want to hear about, all the mainstream stuff that everybody's going to make up stories, do all this stuff about. Well, here's my story, and I'm not making it up. This is what I feel. This is what I saw. This is what I know. I don't care to chase mainstream headlines. This is what I know. Today, everything that I saw from this quarterback room, and I'm going to say this with real tact, everything that I saw, this was, and I'm not going to say it was limited because I don't need to see a full scrimmage to see what's happening in the quarterback room and what's happening as far as who the guy might be or who the intentionalness on developing to get to that level is. As much as you want to say this is a fair competition, you have to come into this camp as a head coach at this level. You have to come in knowing I have an idea of what we want to start and work with. You've been evaluating. If you have a staff at this level, if you have a staff, offensive staff, there should have been some level of evaluation being done throughout the season last year with Austin Mack and Keelan Russell being on this roster. You have a luxury of having two quarterbacks on roster that you already have a track record and a kind of like a synopsis of what they bring to the table. You have that. So when I go into it and I'm seeing reps being divided evenly, yes, Austin Mack may go out first, but literally seeing like reps with certain personnel being divided evenly. Maybe Austin Mack went first on this drill, but Keelan Russell went first on this drill. But when it comes to this quarterback battle, as much as everybody wants to kind of, Austin Mack was the guy that got the snaps last year when it was, garbage time and all of that, I think there was a real reason behind it. You have a guy that has the opportunity to say, hey, is he even learning what we've shown him ahead of this guy. Because right now, this guy's showing us that he can pick it up. But this guy's been here. Is he even learning what we already have shown him? If he can't operate that, then this is the reason why we're going to have to go with the other guy in front of him. And so far, so good for Austin Mack. I think so. From the time, from every snap that he's played at the backup snaps from last season, Jason Jackson. Is this? That's Jason, my brother Jason. What's up, Jason? I thought you was the other Jason from. Y'all know it's Jason. Mary J, you know it's Jason. I thought it was him. I was about to say, why is your name Big Teddy on here? But anyway, looking at it, man, the quarterbacks, I really think this is going to be a competition where we won't find out anything. Even with this first scrimmage, I don't think the first scrimmage really tells us anything. I learned early in Coach Saban's era, like, especially with the quarterback battle, you don't really know what you're getting from the quarterbacks until that second scrimmage when they're like 80% live, right? You're able to touch them a little bit. The offensive line don't get a lot of early whistles, right? Guys got to go out and actually complete plays. Well, I think this quarterback battle is a steady thing right now with Austin Mack being the first guy up, the most senior presence. But don't think Keelan Russell's is out of this, and don't think I'm just saying this because this is what I said since he got on campus. All right, trust me when I'm telling you. Like, I have no reason to. I don't really have a dog in this fight. I get my satisfaction and my viewership goes up when Alabama wins or loses. So I don't have a dog in the fight. My job and what I do is take everything in my expertise that I learned over the years and being in the game of football as a coach, as an athlete, as a player, as a scout, being a part of some recruiting, different assignments and things. I just know how to look at what I'm seeing in practice and how coaches are acting, or even the staff members, support staff members that indicate to you who's like part of the future. When they're sitting in those meetings, they may not be able to say nothing, but everything that these coaches who call the plays and make decisions are being said. They're having to fall in line and make sure they help carry out those assignments. So now look at it, man. This offensive line group, everybody has their idea, but I'm telling you, it's a reason why the staff, and I don't think it was just on Coach Cap, who's no longer with the staff. I think it was just the fact you had so many different skill sets in that offensive line room. Last year, it was more so you had a lot of different skill sets. You're trying to find the best fit, right? And you had a lot of young guys that were pushing your older guys who were proven as far as their experience, but not necessarily proven in the scheme. So you rather go with proven experience and hope they develop into the scheme than the young guys who have no experience who are picking up the scheme. So in the offensive line room, like I said, Mary J, can you flash our offensive line depth chart across the top? Talking the offensive depth chart. When you talk about the offensive line, I tell you, Lloyd Jackson, it was a reason why his name was mentioned. And it wasn't because, like Mike Roddick said, I don't think it was because he's the starting left tackle and there's no competition. It's because since becoming a signee, a commit at the University of Alabama, he's consistently been who he was recruited to be. And that's a mechanical demon. He's technique-wise, you can't find a snap where his technique is not right. He's always in the right spot. He has the IQ there. So yes, he's going to be a formidable piece, but I think where he struggles at is that aggressive power run game nature that you want, right? I think he's perfect for left tackle when you talk about as much as we pass, but run game, we want to improve in the run game. I think that's where you're going to see some competition from guys like Haywood, guys like James. That's going to give him some competition over there at the tackle position. And even with some of the freshmen, the young guys that's floating around at the tackle position, right? Like Bryson Cooley. I love Bryson Cooley. I love him. Him and the freshman defensive lineman, Corey Howard, I like those guys. And then the transfer, Tyrell Miller, the guard, I like him too. Seeing these guys in person, man, these are some big guys, 6'4" to 6'7". All the offensive line. I think the only one under 6'4" may be your center. Y'all got is 6'3". I think Waldrop is 6'5". You look at the frames, man, we're not talking about like Parker Brusford, we were concerned about his size when he came over, but this offensive line, man, I think we have enough assets there to really figure out the best group of five. You got some skill sets in Michael Carroll and Nick Ty Haywood, I think, is a skill set that you can move from guard to tackle. I think Jackson Lloyd is your prototypical tackle that you're going to have as a mainstay at the tackle position. But if you have any guard struggles with the competition brewing up between Nick Brooks, and like I said, Tyrell Miller is in that competition right there, the left guard. Mal Waldrop, we're seeing get some right guard and center reps. I don't know. I think if you have an issue at right guard with Mal Waldrop or Nick Brooks can't get down to that play and speed, I think he's going to be able to get down to the side, but he got to get a little bit more agile in his movement. You know, getting low out of his stance, staying low out of his stance, and being square when he's going to time to them next levels. Because that's what we saw in this film with the limited reps we saw at Texas. So, going to be a battle there. And then Will Sanders, who hasn't been out there because of injuries, or he's been limited because of injuries. I want to see him at full health. He's a mainstay in that room. Played some very key roles, extensive roles. Got some tackle snaps last year. Played some guard last year. So gotta be something there for Will Sanders. All right, y'all. How much time we got left to the phone line? We got 3 more minutes till we open the phone lines, man. Phone lines opening in 3 minutes. 334-625-1121. Get ready to call in. Now, last but not least is wide receiver room. All right, we talked about it earlier today with the members only. I'm gonna do an evasive type of thing with the wide receivers. I think we have a lot of talent there, but because of the skill set of the D line and the defensive backs right now, we probably won't hear nothing about these guys. Shadarian Morgan making a few plays today. I saw Latier Brooks make a few catches. Eric Meadows back out there. You see him getting targeted a lot, especially in the 11s. The ones are so competitive, man. I even count reps where wide receivers are fighting through contact and type of thing. They let them play. It's a lot of physicality. These wide receivers are not soft like they were presumed to be 2 years ago. You saw some physicality try to show up last year. Didn't see much from Ryan Williams, right, in the physicality aspect, but this year, you can tell that he's bought into the fact of getting in the weight room, trying to put some weight on his frame. And this young man is starting to showcase some of those veteran-type presence, things that you want to see in practice, in those one-on-one reps. I will say this. There was a 7-on-7 block, right? And you have DBs versus the receivers. I don't remember what the linebackers out there for this one. I think it was just DBs, skeletons. Skeletons, wasn't necessarily 7-on-7. And there was like a 4-snap iteration where you just see the amount of speed in this wide receiver room. I thought we had a fast group when Kendrick Law and those guys stayed, but Latier Brooks, Noah Rogers, Henderson, those guys are fast, man. And I don't think Noah Rogers is like twitch fast either. It's more so just how precise he is out of his breaks. He doesn't waste a lot of motion coming out of his breaks. A route that I did see being worked on heavily today. I don't know if that was just a thing for today or is this part of the regular schedule, but the hitches and the comebacks, right? The stemming of those routes, understanding how to stem them and how to get in and out those angles and drive back out of those breaks, drive back to the ball, utilizing your hands. The square digs. I saw some square dig concepts with some inside releases, and I mean really, guys being forced Coach Nick's yelling about guys stacking the DB after their release, getting back on top of the numbers, getting back on top of their route and coming out of those breaks. So I'm excited about to see what they develop into, but I don't think it's going to be an easy spring for this this wide receiver room because of the defensive backs. And last but not least, the running backs. Can't wait to see some of the hopefully I get to see some things when it comes to those trench drills. When you're working D-line versus O-line, linebackers versus running backs, running those run fit drills. I can't wait to see some of those and get some insight on that. And then getting into some live 11 reports. I know we're going to have scrimmage this weekend. We're going to see what we get from that. But also, we're going to see what we can get from the second scrimmage. I told y'all that's the one where it's going to really tell us some things. And then you'll see them start to do dress rehearsals for A-Day. Went into that last weekend. We'll kind of have a good idea of what this depth chart look like. But that's my post-practice report from today's spring practice. Practice number 5. We got 9 more practices before A-Day. A-Day being the 15th total practice. And I think we're gearing up for something special this season. A lot of doubters in the fan base thinking that Kalen DeBoer and his staff are taking a step back. But if you ask my personal opinion, I think that we're more prepared now. I'm looking at the roster turnover, everything, skill sets that Kalen DeBoer had at Washington, that he had at Fresno, that kind of fit into the scheme. Now he's getting those similar skill sets at a different anatomical makeup. You're getting great pass rushers for your defensive scheme that were, maybe were 5'11", 230-pound defensive ends or edge rushers, right, at Washington or Fresno. Now you're getting 6'4", 6'5", 240-pound skill sets just like that, right? Because you got the Alabama brand. And now you're getting the quarterback that you want. You're getting the receivers. Kalen DeBoer, wide receiver specialist himself, Derek Nix, a great recruiter in the wide receiver aspects. You saw what he was able to do in his tenure at Auburn and at other stops in the SEC. This offense is gearing up to have everything that's skill set wise, equipment wise, that they need to be successful. Now it's time to see it all turn over. Today, topical conversation on the phone line. I want to hear your projections. AJ, can we get that call-in topic projected for everybody on the screen so they can read it while we're in our infomercial break? Our call-in topic for today, and I'm gonna make sure I read it the right way. Now, as much as I've been bragging about the secondary, what player, who is a player on the defensive side, not just in the secondary, on the defensive side, and this could be multiple names, it could be one player, but what player is the best returning asset on this defensive side of the ball for Alabama in this Kane Wommack defense? And then I'm gonna ask the same question for the offense. We got a few returning assets on the offense. None of the offensive line returning but Michael Carroll. So that's something to consider. You got very limited assets returning on the offensive side. It could be a skill, or it could be a play call. It could be a certain formation, a personnel grouping. What are the best returning assets for Alabama's offense and defense? Let's just say, what are the best returning assets for Alabama? Call-in segment up next, right after these messages. Y'all stay tapped in here in the game with Coach Smook. We want y'all to continue running the likes up. Make sure y'all sharing the content. And while you're here, man, make sure y'all type it in the chat, man. Somebody type it in the chat. Say it for me one time, real loud and strong.
Say, put me in the game, Coach Smook.
Let's get into the call-in segment, y'all.
You're talking about Jalen Milroe and the Pips?
The perfect weak side linebacker, right? Put him next to the mic.
I'm not going to take up a lot of time, but I want to say that I'm excited about what.
Okay, forgive me, my brother. What's on your mind?
Oh, I'm good. I'm just still sorry for all the other content creators now that we have this mega star back in our presence.
Yes, sir. We're here for the call-in segment. Y'all tap in, man. 334-625-1121. Online is open now. Talking. What's the best returning asset for Alabama? I'm gonna answer it while we wait for a phone call to come in, and I'm gonna go at it from this angle. I think right now the best returning asset for Alabama on the defensive side is Kane Wommack. That's the best returning asset. Offensively, I think the wide receiver core. Everybody in the wide receiver room that came back, I think this is their year to break out. We got a phone call.
Call from Zach Willie. To accept, press.
Yo, Zach, what's up, man? You in the game with Coach Smook. How you feeling tonight, man?
I'm doing good, Coach Smook. How are you?
Doing pretty good, man. Doing pretty good. Calling topic on the night, man. And Zach, we're gonna get straight to it. What are the best returning assets for Alabama? And you can do defense, offense, both sides of the ball, however you want to do it. Give me your synopsis of what you think the best returning assets for Alabama is, especially with some of the spring practice reports that we're getting out of the camp today.
Okay. I believe I'm going to do offense and defense, but I have a list. I believe Yanzi Pierre, Bray Hubbard, London Simmons, Michael Carroll, A.K. Deere, and Daniel Hill. Those 6 players, I think, will play a part in our success this next season. because I believe with the assets that we had and the players we was able to get and get out of the portal and everything, and the young talent we have coming in, I see a 16-1 type season, 16-0 type season, kind of like Indiana last year. Because I believe this offensive and defensive line, with the competition that we have seen in practice, I think this is going to be the most dominant and athletic offensive and defensive line we've had since, I'll probably go back to 2015.
I was going to say 2014, 2015, man. That's what I was thinking. I think I said it earlier today in on the members only live. I said that 2015 to 2018-ish era, as far as athletic offensive linemen and defensive linemen on roster together, they probably all didn't play in the same year together, but that string of, and I even say 2014 to 2017 is probably the most athletic grouping of linebackers, defensive line, offensive linemen that we've seen at the University of Alabama under Coach Saban, or ever, for that matter.
Right. Maybe not the most, most successful teams, because there was 2 years in there where we played in the national championship game but didn't win it, but for the most part during that 2014 to 2017 time frame, with the talent we had, out of those years, we won two national championships, and we had some dudes. And
Facts.
With the talent, even the young talent that might not necessarily get to play or have limited reps, I believe they will be key contributors to the success of this team. And those 6 players I mentioned, I think, are going to have the biggest impacts coming in or going into the season, with the fact that they all have had at least 1 year in this system, and they can be the leaders that we need to hold this team accountable.
100%.
And continue to get prepared and stick with a consistency that we have been lacking since the 2020 season. But that's kind of a asterisk there, because like you have said before, we had favorable matchups that year because of COVID that allowed it to be as successful as it was. But I mean, we still had some talent, don't get me wrong, and I still think we could have still won a national championship. It was just the fact of how the season went and the pandemic surrounding it allowed for us to not really truly be tested. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I think this year will be Kalen DeBoer's prove-it year, and make fair weather fans shut up.
100%. Zach, we got another call on the line, man. We got to run through the call segment. Call in tomorrow, man. We got more calling. Appreciate you calling in. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide, man.
Let's go. Yo, you're in the game with Coach Smook, man. Say your name.
It's D-Hart. Put me in the game, Coach.
What up, B Harp? B Harp is in the game with Coach Smook. Yo, y'all welcome B Harp into the game with Coach Smook. What's up, B Harp, man? Topic of conversation tonight, man, on the phone line is what is the best returning asset for the University of Alabama? They could be offense, it could be defense, it could be skills, it could be coach, it could be a player. What do you feel like is the best returning asset for the University of Alabama? For me, I think the best returning asset is Coach Kane Womack. And the amount of presence that he's bringing back on this defense, especially with your back end, bringing the amount of veteran presence and the experience you bringing back, and then you go and you get you some dogs on the interior of your defensive line. You already had the pass rushing assets, and now I think you got enough guys in that inside linebacker room to really find out or see guys carry out the style of linebacker play you want. So the floor is yours, man. What's the best returning asset for the University of Alabama this season?
Smook, I'm gonna tell you what's crazy, man. You and I have not had a conversation or anything like that all week, other than a few text messages, and that's the exact name I was gonna say was Coach Womack. It really is. I mean, it's crazy that that's who I was called in for. You know, I think he's gonna give these guys the attitude they need. The last time we saw them on defensively, I'm sure they got a lot of salt in their mouth the way Indiana does some things.
Yeah.
So I look at him as the most important person. The second most important person, man, coming back, and if it transition over, it's got to be David Ballou, man. I got to find out what he's about. I got to admit, there were times I didn't like Alabama. It seemed like they got pushed around a lot.
Yeah.
So we didn't push enough people around. We didn't push enough people around on offense at times. We got pushed around by Florida State and, of course, Georgia and Indiana. So David Ballou, man, like, dude, I know you all high intensity and science and all that, but sometimes, man, let's just get on this iron and whoop some cats. That's 100%. What I'm about. I get it, sports science and all that. I'm old school and new school, but, man, let's just get on this iron and see these boys line up and whoop some people.
You know what, B Hart, you say that, and I've always had this idea that some of the very things that we did in old school is the reason why you see guys only last 2 years in college and can't recover. So I think the recovery aspect of what we've seen guys recover from under David Ballou during his tenure at Alabama, we appreciate that. But like you said, man, I see these 6'4", 6'5", 325-pound, 330-pound specimens, and they not moving nobody. You know, we getting 70 snaps a game, and we only moving guys 35, 40 snaps a game. I need to see that number need to be more towards a 50, 55 type mark, 60, where we're pushing guys off the line. And you're talking about the average yards before contact against our running backs on run plays last year, 1.3 yards per carry. That's not good. You know, that means we're getting up a push, but you got to be able to finish and move guys.
Absolutely. I didn't see us climb second level enough. I mean, we saw Indiana climb to the second level, get a hat on our guys. Defensively, you know, Indiana got a linebacker that those D linemen absorbed a whole lot of blocks, and this guy to me wasn't that good, but he was going around untouched.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the middle linebacker for Indiana. So that's what I want to see out of Alabama. But like I said, Kane Womack definitely who I think is going to be the most important person. I think he's gonna deliver. Then the next guy, David Ballou, man, just show me. And then I'm gonna be from Missouri, and just show me, David, and we'll go from there, man, Coach. And I appreciate you having me on the show.
For sure, man. Always be happy. And just so y'all know, man, going forward, we got a couple of different shows that we're going to be. I got a moth in here. Hold on. Got a couple of different shows that we're going to be recording, and B Hop is going to be one of the personalities. Myself, him, Kelsey Shep. We got an Auburn personality that's going to be joining the fold. We got an LSU personality. Cutting up with Coach Smook, man. Be looking out, be listening out for my brother B Harp and his voice and his contributions to the growth of the Coach Smook Network, man. Appreciate you, B Harp, and roll tide, my brother.
Roll tide, man.
Yes, sir. Y'all give it up for B Harp, man. 334-625-1121 is the phone, the number to call in, y'all. We trying to get through these because I've been getting some good clips from the phone call segments, and what we're doing is at the end of the week, Friday, we're trying to get to a schedule where we're just basically uploading a montage of clips from the week. So You want to get on that montage every Friday? You want to be featured? Y'all let me talk to y'all real quick. We ain't gonna talk football. I'm gonna take the football stuff off the screen so y'all could just talk to me real quick. See, the type of consistency that we've been putting out as the Coach Smook Network, it's only a matter of time before somebody that really matters sees it and they see the value in it, regardless of the disagreements, regardless of the hate and all of that. Y'all can't lie and say that we not doing something special when it comes to this media coverage of Alabama football, recruiting, sports development, and network and all of that stuff. We doing something special. And we don't have near the amount of resources that we thought we would need to get to this level. And now they got us supplying the need on that end. Be careful. Be careful what you say about who and what we're doing, because it's a lot of things going on. And we have been privy to some special things. And I thank God for every opportunity, y'all. And I just ask y'all to continue to support, man. Likes and shares. That's all we asking for. You want to donate, by all means, donate. We got multiple opportunities to donate. Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. You can DM me, find out other ways you want to go, give me your trust fund and all that good stuff. We cool with that. We'll make sure that your investment is truly, I'm serious. I make sure that thing is utilized and invested. We're going to make sure we get you that coverage. We're going to get a private jet and get up to T-Town, get back and forth from where we need to be. But we appreciate y'all support. Continue to donate and support by liking and sharing. Let me get to TikTok. Let me get to the comments. 334-625-1121. The phone line is open. What we got in the comments? Speak the truth and not chase the headlines. Facts. Would it surprise me if Chris Booker ends up at left guard? We talked about Chris Booker. I did see some things today with Booker. He worked a lot with second and third team today. He worked a lot with second and third team, and I'm just basing it off of the way that the rotation was. The rotation was with some of the group drills we had, the individual drills we saw those guys doing. You saw a lot of tandem of Michael Carroll, Mal Waldrop. Then you saw Michael Carroll with Ty Haywood. Like, you had different pairings of guys pulling up and showing, for drills. You had different pairings for the offensive line. And then when it got to the, like I said, we saw pass scales, what we call pass scales when I was coaching at the high school level, where it's not necessarily 7-on-7. You just literally have your 5 DBs, and the idea is to try to get attempts, second and third level type concepts and work them on air or against off, coverages or whatever. And you might see 6 DB sets, but more so is the 4 eligible receivers against the 5 DBs, and working it that way. So in that drill is where we got to see a lot of action, man. As a matter of fact, I'm not sure if I have it downloaded, but the clip is up somewhere. Sedarian Morgan doing his thing. Let's call on the line, man. Get him on the line, y'all.
Shep.
Yo, Shep, what's up, man? You in the game with Coach Smook. Talk to me, man.
Happy New Year's, everybody.
Say Happy New Year. What's going on, Shep? Talk to me, man. What you got for us tonight?
Trick y'all, didn't y'all think it's New Year? My wife ain't looking like, what is he talking about?
Man, listen. Topic of conversation.
But listen, man, just put me in the game. That's all I need for you to do, homie.
I got you. Topic of conversation tonight, man. We're going to bring it in like this. What's the best returning asset from this Alabama roster? Now, I said Kane Womack. And everything that he has established in his 2 years as a defensive coordinator, the amount of experience and the production he produced last year with returning guys. I feel like this year he's even more set up with some of the portal moves, the freshman growth and success that we have from young guys under his system. I think the defense and Kane Womack is the best returning asset for this roster. You take the floor, man. It can be offense, defense, coach, player, whatever. What are the best returning assets for Alabama coming into this 26-27 season?
The best returning asset for Alabama coming into 2026 for the defense, I think is young Zay Pierre. I think it's young Zay. I think he changed his number. He, is his cousin had 41. He had 42. He went from 42 to 0.
I wish he would have stayed at 42. But however, to walk in Deontay's footsteps. I think young Zapier. I think this defense I think he needs to carry this defense on his shoulders.
You think so?
I don't think he have a choice. And I'm going to say this. The best returning asset on defense also. I'm just going to say it. I got to say it. I think also is Freddie Roach, the defensive line coach. We haven't saw an All-American D lineman come out of Alabama in several years. Am I right? I think the one that went with the Jets, Quentin Williams. I think he was the last one. Freddie Roach haven't produced, and I'm not saying that we haven't had one that was capable. I don't know, but we haven't saw it. I think this year with what is it? Is it Landon Simmons, that number 91?
Mm-hmm.
I think that guy got high upside. If Freddie can coach him up, I saw today where Alabama just hired another. I saw today where Alabama just hired another defensive assistant to put with him. Alabama hired another defensive. Huh?
They hired another defensive analyst.
Yeah, defensive analyst to put with him. Maybe that's gonna help. And that guy's from Alabama. He's from I think they say he's from Oxford or somewhere. But I think Freddie got something to prove, man. I played with Freddie in the Alabama Mississippi All-Star game. He's from Brooks. He went to Brooks High School. Down towards where's Brooks, our coach? Brooks. I can't remember where that's from. Oh, Florence, up around the Florence area. I played with his brother at Jacksonville State and Quentin Bowen. Yeah, I played with his brother at Jacksonville State. Quentin.
So all right. So let's back up a little bit because you said something that I kind of want to just get some clarity on, and it was in reference to the type of defensive lineman that Freddie Roach has been able to develop. Now, one thing that we have to consider, and this is we're going to talk football now. For all the fans that don't talk football, this might make you angry, but we're about to talk some football. We're not talking feelings right now. Everybody knows that what Coach Saban and his defensive scheme and what he brought in for a defensive lineman, what made them great was the fact that you had defensive linemen that could play a two-gap scheme, right? You had big frames that didn't necessarily need the lateral quickness and movement to create pass rushes because they demanded double teams. They demanded extra protection and extra assets to create space for their offense to operate. Now, where teams started to beat Saban is instead of trying to beat him in between the hashes, we're going to beat you in between the numbers. We're going to make you play outside the numbers. And that's why guys like Quentin Williams, they were the last of their kind. You don't see many guys like Jordan Davison coming in. You see maybe one or two guys coming through each class. And then the guys that are dominated from the interior, they've been in college for 4 or 5 years. What you got going on, Shep? Got a lot of noise back there.
Yeah, I know. I came outside of my garage. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. But now you're starting to see that type of defensive lineman. And so there's a new age of defensive lineman being developed, and it's getting back to more so of that beat your guy in front of you, get to the quarterback, get to the running back. Can you do that from the interior? Or if you can't do that from the interior, how many people are you demanding to block you? Because that's what NFL draft stock for those interior linemen is. Is he demanding 3-mans? Is he demanding double teams? Or is he getting washed out by an undersized center, 12 out of 15 snaps and his one-on-ones? So right now, I think Freddie Roach, like you say, he's on the high seat because what I feel like he can develop is that type of single gap pressure type of defensive lineman. I think that's what he did at the collegiate level at Alabama, which kept him from being on the field for a lot of his career, from being a more impactful player because he was a one gap specialist. You could line him up, whatever, 4 or 5, interior head up, however you want to line them up. But I think the ability to have one gap assignments and react off of that is going to help this defensive line development. And names, like you said, London Simmons, who's injured right now, Jeremiah Beeman, who's not out there right now,
they're going to be two of the big names. But you went out and got Devin Tompkins and Terrence Green, two starters from USC and Oregon, and they got some flash, man. These aren't just guys with names. They play ball. Tompkins for sure is going to be a first round draft pick if his season goes like the way it's supposed to. So I think right now with the D line, Freddie Roach, you got one there, but this is probably the best defensive line group, and so you're right. Got to see this guy develop. Somebody got to come in and pop off the screen this year with the type of guys you got available.
Yeah, and exactly. So I'm gonna put it on. I'm gonna put it on the D line, and of course, that kind of adds young Zay Pierre in there, and so and I will say Kane Womack. I will say Kane Womack also. So when I go over to offense, I think for some reason I like Daniel Hill. I like him, and I watched him real closely last year. I don't know if he's an 800-yard back. I can't. Something just would not let me. I think Alabama has a running back in A.K. Deer.
Yes, sir.
That is gonna. I think that's the sleeper. I think he has great vision. I think he has great patience. I'm gonna tell you. Sometimes a running back just got it. I mean, you just got it. Just kind of like Mark Ingram. Mark Ingram just had it. I mean, he just had it. I mean, and then much less, with some good blocking and some good run scheme. I think A.K. Deer, we didn't see him a lot last year. I think it was a reason why we didn't see him a lot last year. I think Alabama wanted to kind of hide him out a little bit.
All right, Shep.
I think
All right, Shep. I got to stop you now because you fell right into the trap. Y'all, sound the alarm. He fell right into the trap. Oh, Shep, you feel this way about A.K. Deer, correct?
Yeah, I do.
All right, so let's talk about this. I want to move the goalpost just a little bit, but we're not going off the field. We're just moving the goalpost a little bit to the left. Now, when we talk about this quarterback situation, and we talk about the production from the quarterback position last year, would you agree that the quarterback position did not perform to the best or meet expectations as far as execution and consistency in delivering the ball in the passing game?
I do agree.
You do agree. So do you think them going to Austin Mack was because Keelan Russell wasn't ready, or do you think they were just kind of trying to hide him? Because I think there were plenty of opportunities for A.K. Deer with the limited opportunities he had, the explosiveness he showed. We could have been with the A.K. Deer and grew with him throughout the season. But I think there was a reason, like you said. So why is it that you feel that way about A.K. Deer's situation, being that Daniel Hill was in front of him, Kevin Riley was in front of him? You got way more experience out of those guys than you got with A.K. Deer. So why we not giving that same leniency to Keelan Russell? I'm asking this.
I think with the quarterback situation, I think it can be a little different because you really can't hide a quarterback. Either he's your the quarterback is like the quarterback is equivalent to like a high sheriff, like what I'm saying, like a high sheriff. I mean, he just he got the locker room. You can't hit him at practice. Whatever he said goes outside of the OC. I mean, dude just got a lot of authority when it comes down to. And I think when it comes to Keelan Russell, I think Keelan Russell came with such high expectations and such high ceilings. I think what the coaches did with Keelan Russell last year, I think they knew that they could kind of let him kind of get a year under his belt. I think they knew that. I think that they didn't feel like we got to throw him in.
100%.
And I think they went.
And that's what I've been saying to Alabama fans, Shep. I with Mac, and this is kind of what I led the show off with. I think with him being in the system, you got to think he came in early at 17 at Washington. Then he comes over to Bama and sits behind Jalen Milroe for a year. Then he sat behind Ty Simpson for a year. This young man has been in college for 3 years now. That why would he not be thrown out there to be put on display to say, hey, prove to us that the time that you've already had, that we can work with you if this happens, or if Ty Simpson goes down? Why wouldn't he be the first one to be thrown out rather than the freshman who's showing that he's picking it up, but not necessarily vocalizing it, right? He can't tell you, all right, coach, you gave me this play call. This is what I got to look for. If this happened, this. He can't spit it out, but if you put him in the fire, you feel like he can make the right decision. You can't go with that. So why hurt the freshman when you got a guy that can tell you exactly what he's supposed to do and actually see if he can execute it? I think that's the only leeway that Austin Mack had over Keelan last season coming into that fall camp, coming into the regular season. Because even if you look at the depth chart, the official depth chart, you had QB1 Ty Simpson, he had QB2 Keelan Russell, Austin Mack, or Keelan Russell. Then one game you'll see Keelan Russell or Austin Mack. So it to me, this quarterback battle is more so in Keelan's lap than I believe people want to give him credit for. Same thing, like I said, for AK Deer. Same thing I said for AK Deer in the running back room.
Yeah. I think for Keelan, if I can go spiritual here, I think Keelan is like the David of Alabama. I mean, he's kind of like, he just got there versus Austin Mack already. He been around. Austin Mack been around. He's from, he been at Washington, and I think Keelan is like, hey, I'm the new kid on the block. And I think Keelan, here's what, and I'm kind of gritting my teeth right about now. Here's what Mr. Keelan Russell going to have to do. Keelan Russell is going to have to tell the Goliath of football, and it has to show up in practice. David told Goliath, was like, who are you come to defile, the armies of the Lord and all this and that. And David was just a shepherd boy. He was from out of nowhere. He was,
They said David was from Phoenix City, Alabama. This skinny little dude just talking all this crazy stuff, just being confident about everything, talking about what God told him to do. That's who they said David was. Just a little skinny dude from Phoenix City, Alabama. He ain't supposed to be able to do all this stuff.
Come on, but he ain't scared of nothing. Keelan Russell, this is what he gonna have to do, and I'm done talking about it for the rest of until we see the first kick. Keelan Russell is gonna have to just take it, bro. He's gonna have to go in his pouch and get every tool that he got. In other words, he's gonna have to show the board and all them. Listen, I don't care how long he's been here. I'm the man for the job. This is my team. This is my year. I'm the man for the job. And he got it. I'm not saying he got to be perfect, but it has to be a total balance all around. He has to be well-rounded when he's graded. In other words, everything he does, he got to do it from a superior standpoint. He got to send a message to Matt. It ain't personal, bro. I don't care. See, that's the thing about football. See, when I came through, it wasn't, listen, and I was cutting guys' hair and stuff like that, but I would tell them, look, bro, I'm going to do this to you Friday night. I'm going to do this to you. I don't, these guys hanging out together now, and I'm not going to hang out with my opponent. I'm going to run over you. I'm going to knock the hell out you. This is what I'm going to do to you. I'm going to do this to you. And it's not personal. Keelan Russell has came across the country from Texas. He got to take the position. Period. Austin Mack gonna have to take. You know what I'm saying? He gonna have to take it, coach.
And you know what? I think more so than ever,
he got to take it, man.
Yeah, I think more so than ever because we saw this narrative kind of pick up with the staff last year, and who can win the job, who can take the job, right? I think Kalen DeBoer, as much as you don't like how he does interviews, I think he really places the responsibility and the outlook of what this program is going to be in the hands of the players. And at this day and age, you're paying them enough to have that and carry that responsibility. So anything that he's doing right now, he's trusting his players to be able to come together with a full consensus of what everybody is saying, and let's project that together. Let me guide y'all into that. I'm going to give y'all the keys, but guess what? I still have to be able to give y'all the roadmap. And the more that you get players buying into taking that route, that's the success you're going to see. So, and I think right now, with what you want to see in this offense, Kalen DeBoer continues to highlight it. You have to have a playmaker at the quarterback position that can really stay in the pocket. Keelan Russell, as good as his feet are, his pocket presence is what makes him so great. He does not have to get outside the pocket to utilize his feet. His pocket awareness sets him apart from the rest of his recruiting class. And it's the reason why he was having such a great spring last year and was steadily being put on that chopping block of, can we go with him now? Do we need to go with him for a spark last season? So going into this season, going into this spring camp, this scrimmages next week, man, the next week's scrimmage is going to tell me a lot. But I'm telling you, Keelan Russell and this running back tandem of A.K. Deere and Daniel Hill, A.K. Deere RB1 to me, right, will be the RB1 for me, first running back out. And I think Daniel Hill would be more of your every down back, the guy that can bring you the consistency and pass pro, all of that. But like you said, A.K. Deere is the game changer. Final thought, Shep, as we get ready to close this phone line up, man.
Final thought, this is it. I want to say this, Coach. Keelan Russell already stated, he was like, I'm here to stay. He was like, he was so nice about it. He was so polite. I mean, I'm so thankful for that. But brother, the quarterback Alabama is going to have in Kalen DeBoer third year. And I'm done with this, man. The quarterback Alabama going to have, they're going to have one with a big ego. Somebody got it. Because you know why? It's going to take that in some of these games that Alabama is going. Every game in Tuscaloosa we know is very hostile. I'm telling you, Coach, like I said today, when we were texting back and forth, it's not going to get any better. I don't care what nobody say. Kalen DeBoer is under some pressure. It's not his quarterback is going to have to make up for everything that he can't do. Good God Almighty. The quarterback that Alabama chooses is going to have to make up for everything that Kalen DeBoer will not be able to do. And I'm done with that. Coach, thank you for having me. God bless you, man.
All right, man. God bless and roll tide, man. Y'all give it up for Shep, man. Y'all give it up for Shep. That's going to be the last call, y'all. Phone line is now closed. I want to say something final in response to that. You talking about players playing in the bright lights, playing in the big lights. Keelan Russell played at Duncanville High School in Dallas, Texas. If anybody knows the type of talent that comes from the Dallas-Fort Worth area in Texas and the type of energy that goes into Texas high school football, they're only step above Texas, the highest class in Texas, which is where Duncanville plays in. And per capita, you're talking about a region that produces more D1 prospects per capita than any region in America. That's including the Cali connection, the Trinity League out there in Cali. So this is not a league that's not foreign to competition, right? This is a Duncanville school that prep schools try to line up on the schedule so that it could be validated in their skill level. I think right now, Keelan Russell, the moxie, the energy that you want from a player like that, man, come on. Texas football, I'll take that over. And nothing against Austin Mack coming out of Folsom, right, out of Cali. I just don't think that Cali ball matches up to Texas ball. I don't think Cali ball matches up to what we're getting out of Georgia and Florida. They got some guys, they got onesies and twosies at some of these spots, but they don't per capita, they don't stack the talent. And then the way that we support our football in the South, down there in Texas, down here in Alabama, Georgia, Florida, Tennessee, even South Carolina right now, Virginia is coming up in some of their programs or things that they're putting out. I just don't see it being a thing for Keelan Russell. I think it's like the Bryce Young mentality. Bryce Young was even killed. Jalen Hurts came from Texas, even killed. Like, I'm going with the guy that can, if I call a play, the guy that makes me look like the better play caller, right? Because of his success, like Bryce Young did for, was it Tommy Reese that first year? And then he had to do it behind, Jalen Miro did it for Tommy Reese. Who did Bryce have his first year? Lordy have mercy. Bill O'Brien. Like Bryce did for Bill, right? Like we had to endure that. Bryce kept Bill with a job post-Bama. Shout out to Bryce Young for doing the community a service or doing Bill O'Brien a service to keep him employed. But That's my final thought on that. Y'all, appreciate y'all for tapping in tonight. We're going to do our outro here. And then when we come back, we'll do a few announcements. I got a few sponsorship announcements to make about the channel and how we're growing. And then we're going to get out of here. Thank y'all for tapping in. Don't forget to drop the likes on YouTube. If you're on TikTok, Twitter, Twitch, Kick, Facebook, come over to YouTube right now while we're closing out. Just drop a comment, drop a like. Let me know where you're watching from. I want to acknowledge all of our live viewers, man. We got a lot of people tapping in. We got a lot of people tapping in. I'm even sharing it right now. I can't say. Hey, my cousin, man, she just wrote me on TikTok. So it's crazy. It's a quick story before we go into our little infomercial break. We got 17 seconds. Quick story. I was in high school and I didn't know I had cousins. I didn't know I had family down there in Phoenix City, Fort Mitchell area where we were from. And me and my cousins, I didn't know they was my cousins, but me and my brother used to pick on these sisters. It was two sets of twins, the Reynolds. And I did not know they were our cousins, right? But me and my brother, we used to pick at them all the time. And me and Asia was cool. And I forget my other cousin name, but Canovia was the one that couldn't stand me. So I used to get on Canovia. And one day I was picking at her so bad. I think she tried to fight me or something, but she went home and told her dad. And her dad, somehow or another, my mom and her dad got in conversation, and like the conversation was, they was in conversation because they was like, yo, cuz, what up? I didn't know you lived out here. And then told her what was happening. And we found out it was cousin, man. You couldn't do nothing to my cousins no more after that. So it's all about who you know, showing love to everybody. Appreciate y'all for pulling up and continuing to share the content, man. We appreciate y'all for tapping in. And this is it for today's show, man. This is the outro. When we come back, we'll make an announcement. I'll catch y'all on that back end of that.
All right, family. That's going to do it for today's show here on the Coach Smook Network. Once again, I'm your host, Coach Smook, your favorite Alabama insider and sports media personality. And I truly appreciate every one of you for rocking with us today. Before you head out, make sure you like this video, share it with somebody who needs to be a part of this conversation. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel so you stay locked in with everything we've got coming your way. We're trying to reach some goals here. And if you believe in what we're building here, I encourage you to take that next step and become a member of the AAA family. Remember, our mantra is authenticity above all. This community is built on real conversations and real insight and real information surrounding sports entertainment. Your membership directly supports the growth of the Coach Smook Network, and every hard-earned dollar contributed is not only appreciated, it's paid for through our monthly contributions to community health and awareness organizations. So you're not just supporting a YouTube channel, you're supporting a cause. Also, don't forget to check out the Coach Smook merch. We've got hats, t-shirts, hoodies, and more. It's a great way to show love and support for the network and rep the brand wherever you go. You can find the merch link in our main YouTube page and in the description. Put me in the game, coach. And if you want to stay connected and get more involved with the community, be sure to join the Discord. Just type the command in the live chat or head over to our main YouTube page and click the Linktree link in the description. You can also stay connected with us directly for collaborations, appearances, community service opportunities, and business inquiries by emailing us at coachsmooknetwork@gmail.com. Our staff will respond in a timely manner. And for those who want to show additional love, you can always donate directly to the Coach Smook Network through Venmo, PayPal, or Cash App. Every bit of support helps us continue to grow and elevate this platform. We also want to send a huge thank you to our sponsors and partners: Walk On Sports Bistro, Sports Info Solutions, Helping Hands LLC, Men of Standard Executive Security, Goomba Bully Killnos, and most of all, the AAA Phantom. None of this is possible without you. Once again, thank you for all your support, the energy, and the authenticity you bring to the space. Until next time, family, stay safe, stay locked in, and when you see me in the streets, holler at me and say, put me in the game, Coach Smook. Catch you on the next one. Hold on one second. Glad you chose. Hold on one second. If you're serious about sports, you need more than just box scores. You need real insight. That's why Sports Info Solutions is the official partner of the Coach Smook Network. Sports Info Solutions is my go-to source for in-depth stat analysis, giving you the tools to truly understand player production, tendencies, and performance on a whole new level. From NFL, MLB to NBA, Sports Info Solutions delivers advanced data that helps fans, coaches, and analysts see the game behind the game. This isn't just stats, it's context. Looking ahead to the next generation of stars? Check out NFLDraft.sportsinfosolutions.com for elite draft analysis and detailed prospect breakdown. Make it your new go-to stat tracker. Visit sportsinfosolutions.com today. Now let's get back in the game.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I appreciate y'all. And also shout out to our new sponsor, man, Farmers Insurance, Frederick Harris and Farmers Insurance of Hoover, Alabama. Y'all, I can't talk right now. I don't know what's going on. But yo, shout out to Frederick Harris, man, my big brother. Has been watching and supporting the content for a while now. Just made the connection recently. God is doing some awesome things in his life. So wanted to use his platform and what he does in society to support the brand and the growth of Coach Smook Network. So that lets you know that we're doing something special. We even got insurance agencies connecting with us and telling us to project whereabouts that product. So if y'all looking for some quality insurance in the state of Alabama, he practices in multiple states, is licensed in multiple states. Definitely utilize that resource. Get in the Discord, find out. You know, you might be some insurance rates that you're not taking advantage of that you should be taking advantage of. And he could hook you up. That's all home, auto, life, all of that stuff. He can get you hooked up. So tap in with Frederick Harris and Farmers Insurance of Hoover, Alabama. We're actually making that official launch today. So he actually opened up the new location today and he's going to be doing his thing. We'll have a location set up. Part of the announcement. Appreciate that, Jordan. Don't be proud of me. This is us. This is us together. But huge announcement. We have a location and a spot that we're going to be set up for A-Day. A-Day is April 11th. We will be out there early that morning. We'll be set up on 8th Avenue in the Cut Barbershop, and Farmers Insurance, Frederick Harris and Farmers Insurance will be hosting us, and we will have a location. But we also might have Tuscaloosa, walk-ons of Tuscaloosa. They will be set up closer to the stadium. So we're going to have multiple locations where the AAA family members, the supporters of the Coach Smook Network and Alabama football can meet up and we can link up. I want to get a lot of interactions. The first year I did spring training coverage, we didn't get the opportunity to do that. And we don't have to revisit that story. We know what the agenda was there. The agenda now, though, y'all know me. I'm all about my community and the fan interaction, supporter interaction. I don't say fan interaction, supporter interaction. We're going to have an opportunity. Appreciate that, Asia. There go my cousin, y'all. Appreciate you for pulling up, family. Appreciate you. And then also, want to give another shout out, man. This one is another one. Y'all just got off the phone with my big brother, Kelsey Shepard, and First Place Barberman of Montgomery, Alabama, becoming an official sponsor of the Coach Smook Network, man. Doing some awesome things. I told y'all, we're not playing this year. We half stepped last year. We doubted ourselves. Discredited what God was doing because of how it looked from the public eye. But since we have given up our stance and how we think we should be moving and trust God in every move, we've been making some connections. Believe it or not, man, we might have an opportunity that may present itself on such a level. We're not even I don't know how we're getting that opportunity. We're not prepared for it, but God sees fit that we take advantage of it. So I want to give praise to him, give praise to Jesus, man, and everything that he's doing for the Coach Smook Network and for our family. And I think finally Thursday we'll be doing our first full episode of Check 'Em Out, Coach. That's going to be a cool one. I don't even know the format of how I'm going to do it, but we have the old little promo graphic in the back. Let me see if I can remove this. We got the old promo graphic in the back. If y'all want to be featured on that, hear your name, don't miss out. Check them out, Coach series. We're kicking it off. We're gonna have a new intro and everything, but we're gonna have you all in front of some real scouts, football players, all my high school athletes, real scouts. I'm not just doing this for clout. I'm not doing this to grow my platform. I talk to scouts, recruiters, director, player personnel, general managers weekly, and this is confirmed. I have people watching right now that don't have the space or the time to speak or type every time, but they hit that like button or they repost and they retweet it, and they're hearing what I'm saying, and they want to push I don't care to be the most famous YouTuber that's showing up at the 7-on-7s. I want to be at the 7-on-7s because it might be a kid that really can maximize. Might be able to maximize the opportunity at the next level, man. But I appreciate everybody, y'all. I appreciate each and every one of you, man, for doing what you're doing and supporting the Coach Smook Network and everything that we got going on, man. I can't thank God enough for everything and how it's going. So with that being said, don't forget to like and share on your way out. If you're on TikTok, tap that screen. Thank you for all the gifts. Shout out to every person that tapped the screen on TikTok. We had 25 total new viewers, new interactions on TikTok. Give it up for that. YouTube, I don't know how many likes we ended up with. We ended up with 28 likes on the stream for the live part. If you're watching post live, you can still be a part of that number. Continue running the likes up. We want to try to hit 50 from now on. From here on out, to get to our goal of 5K by April 11th, we need your help. We need your help to like and share the stream. So if you're looking at the camera right now, you're looking at me. After this show ends, share the content on your Facebook page. Say, y'all, this dude is really on to something. Bama football coverage like you never seen it. We're taking off to new heights in 2026. I'm your host, your favorite Alabama sports media talent, personality, and insider, Coach Smook. And remember, y'all, when you see me in the streets, holler at me and say,
"Put me in the game, Coach Smook."
I'll catch y'all on the next one, man. Y'all be blessed and roll Tide, roll. Y'all be safe out there. Let's get it.
In my bones, crimson in my veins, talking Bama in the microphone. Look me up on YouTube, true cut straight from the stone. Ain't no selling their retails, I'm exposing what they want. Alabama football, yeah, I live it, yeah, I breathe it. From the streets to the bleachers, every angle, yeah, I see your film. Study so militant, I ain't guessing a thing. Break it down, every snap is like a coach in the team. Authenticity above all, that's where I stand. If you ain't a real fan, you'll fail with the fan. They tried to box me in, and I keep the dough off the frame. Turn the pressure into power, put my stamp on the game. Put me in the game, coach, in the game. Put me in the game, coach, that's what they saying. Put me in the game, coach, in the game. Put me in the game, coach. That's what they say.
Players and the staff are pulling up right now for today's scrimmage. Coach David Ballou in the front. Y'all can see everybody pulling up, man. And boys over there, look at Deontay.
Hey, y'all, I'm walking out of Walmart. What's your name, bro? Man, my name Michael McKinney, man. I'm a true Alabama fan, and this man does a good job on his podcast. What's up, bro? Reviewing Alabama football. Keep doing what you're doing, man. Appreciate that, bro. Roll Tide, man.